What is up, everyone? Mr. Thumb coming at you with another episode of the stream. So today, we're going to be playing some Monster Hunter Rise. Before we do that, we are going to talk a little bit about Rise. So, I feel like now that the game's kind of completed its life cycle, and now that everyone has gone back and we've all been playing World again for a good while now, I think it's a good time to take a step back and really talk about Rise and see, was all the criticism justified? How did it come out at the end? So, without further ado, let's jump into it. We're going to jump in, and I think a great place for us to start with that would be is the Monster Hunter Rise good enough video by Oceans. Oceans fucking crushed it on this video back when it came out a little over a year ago at this point. This was right in the middle of Rise's life cycle. So let's jump on in. Let's see what Oceans has to say and if it still holds up today. Oh.
When I was about 15, I adopted my little sister's Nintendo 3DS, and I began buying games for it. One such game was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I remember my review of it at the time being...
I forgot how fucking long this video is.
Mobile toaster and the control scheme of using elements on the same side of the grip for both movement and camera was, in professional
Perhaps.
terms, the worst. So
I was thinking this was like a 30-minute video. Why was I thinking that? I cannot justify sitting here for 2.5 hours. Oceans, I love you, bro. Your videos are long as shit. That's what I love about them, but your videos are long as shit, my guy. So let's see if we can find something to kind of riff off of here. Here we go. I think this might be a better one.
Following the release of Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, Monster Hunter World was the first game to kick off the 5th generation.
By the way, this is from a larger channel than mine, still relatively small channel called the Hunter Project. So if you're not subscribed to them, I am subscribed to them on my main YouTube. Go give them a subscribe. And since we're on the topic, let's give them a like too.
With major success in Western regions, they followed on to making its expansion title, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, which once again was met with much praise and positive feedback overall. The expansion followed a similar release pattern to the base game, with the PC version being released way after the console's release, and then we would see the announcement and subsequent release of the timed exclusive Generation 5 game, Monster Hunter Rise, which released on the Nintendo Switch. This game would also be met with a lot of positive reception. However, there was a considerable amount of backlash due to the base game content not fully being there at launch, with that content being pushed back into its initial title updates. The PC version would then go on to be announced and released a year later.
Now, I didn't experience any of that. When I first played Rise, it was on PC. So my very first experience was, I believe, right as Sunbreak was first dropping. So I jumped in right as they were releasing Defender weapons again, and as they were releasing, the first bits of the Sunbreak expansion.
Which was quickly followed up with the Sunbreak expansion later that same year, with it being released on all platforms simultaneously. Overall, Generation 5 was a success, being able to show how Monster Hunter had innovated over time, and it would massively help expand the Monster Hunter audience, with Monster Hunter World being Capcom's best-selling game to this date. And with that, this video is going to discuss which one is better between the two Generation 5 games, Monster Hunter World or Monster Hunter Rise. So let's get into it. Story.
Now, I know that this is just the idea for the video. Like, you always got to have a premise to make this video, but I don't think that you can compare these games all that much. It's just a totally different concept for them. Yeah, they're both set in the Monster Hunter universe, but that's about where the similarities end, you know? Anyway, well, let's hear what he's got to say.
He hasn't always been a driving force behind Monster Hunter titles, and arguably still isn't to this day. Many players play through these titles without having any real idea of what is actually happening in the story, instead focusing on the mastery of weapons and monsters. While it isn't at the forefront, Monster Hunter does have a few stories to offer, and in some cases, very good ones, and in other cases, some extremely poor ones that are probably best left forgotten. Monster Hunter World's story focuses heavily on nature and elder dragons, and it's also the first time we get to experience the new world. While we're not the first ones there, we are the first to make a massive impact, as you'd expect, being the main character. The Elder Crossing is one of the key plot points for the story, and this is a cycle of death, where elder dragons travel to the Elder Recess and die to supercharge the ecosystem with bioenergy, allowing new life to grow with their departure. While it used to occur every century, it weirdly starts to occur every decade.
My bad, y'all.
Throughout the game, you slowly uncover the reasoning as to why this is happening. Monster Hunter Rise's story focuses on the Rampage. The player character is informed that they've been promoted to the title of Hunter by the Guild, and the village leader then goes on to inform everyone about the pending signs of the Rampage, a mysterious calamity that occurred 50 years prior to the game's time, where a large horde of monsters attack the village in a frenzied state, and it's the player's job to figure out what is causing the rampage and help defend the village. While both stories are relatively okay, I think I give the point to Monster Hunter World in this case, as I think the new world gives the story a strong edge, as a lot of it is a mystery, given it's the first game we experience hunting in that region of the Monster Hunter World, no pun intended.
Now, I think he's probably right here. World's story was definitely better. I do feel like they took a big swing with the voice acting on this, for sure, and I think some of it landed. I think most of it honestly missed. But then again, Rise didn't take a swing at all with any voice acting, well, other than some just basic lines up until the last expansion, or the second to last expansion, the Amatsu expansion. And they did a fucking fantastic job with that, which we'll get to it towards the end here. But let's see what else he's got to say.
I also enjoy the focus on Elder Dragons and their life cycle, which I personally find extremely intriguing and hope to see a lot more of in the future of Monster Hunter games and expansions. Rise's story is
Ooh, yeah, so same here. They did a lot of awesome stuff with the Elder Dragons. Felt until the very, like, Elder Dragons were like integral to the story in World. Long before you hit endgame, you were fighting Elder Dragons. And I feel like that felt kind of lacking in Rise. I felt like they could have really integrated that a lot more and had them not just be so much of an endgame baddie the way they were in this one. Still leaning towards Rise being a great game, though.
Isn't necessarily bad, but I think the focus being on the defense of the village is something we've seen before, and not as interesting as learning about the series' staple and powerhouses that are the Elder Dragons. Monster Hunter World's base game village is called Astera. This village is built primarily out of wood, and some has been taken from the very ships that brought the research commission into the new world. It rests below a waterfall that is between the ancient forest and Wildspire Waste, two maps that can be accessed when out on quests. This could be viewed as more of a base opposed to the traditional villages that we are used to seeing in the Monster Hunter series, built to support hunters and researchers as they explore the new world and its ecology. Monster Hunter Rise's main area is called Kamura Village. This is the main hub of Rise's base game, and unlike following the release
Oh
of Monster
no,
Generations
buddy.
Ultimate,
Why?
Monster Hunter World was the first game. focus on elder dragons and their life cycle.
Clyde,
I personally find
sir,
extremely
you cannot
intriguing.
step on the keyboard, my love. Buddy.
To make use of resources in every way they possibly can to aid their mission. The location also
You can't
makes a
see
lot of
him.
sense, and aesthetically I think it looks
But for whatever reason, he insists on sitting on my mousing hand. Sir. Sir. Right. Where? Okay. I don't want to have to be off of the desk. You cannot sit. Not off the mouse goes. You're gonna have to sit somewhere else. It's not the desk. You cannot sit there. You can't. You can sit over here, but that's it. You got this whole space, bro. Okay? No, maybe so. We're gonna continue on here.
really good. However, I think that's a bit of an unfair point to give, as that does kind of fall under the graphics category. As a
And we lost. You made us lose our place, buddy.
game area is called Kamura Village. This is the main hub of the Rise's base game, and unlike all the other Monster Hunter games in the series, it allows players to participate in multiplayer while still in the village. The village has been wiped out and rebuilt multiple times prior to the present day in the game's story.
So he touched on that really briefly, but that was really cool, and that was our first time in Monster Hunter. The fact that you could just hang out with your friends anywhere in the village at all times was super cool. All right, moving on.
Due to the rampage, so the villagers of the village are training day in and day out to prevent this
Yo,
outcome from ever happening.
Clyde finally got
again.
his shit together.
Due to this, a sturdy stronghold was built in order to better prepare for the next invasion, which proves extremely useful in the game's story. For this section, I'm going to put this as a draw, as I think Astera does an excellent job in capturing how messy and all over the place the base is set up has been, given they've moved to a completely new region and tried to make use of resources in every way they possibly can to aid their mission. The location also makes a lot of sense, and aesthetically I think it looks really good. However, I think that's a bit of an unfair point to give, as that does kind of fall under the graphics category, as I think graphics go a long way in putting across the intention of a design. But of course, we will go into graphics next. The main drawback of Astera being the actual practical distance between vendors. Many players do tend to get annoyed with how far they are having to travel between the significant vendors of each Monster Hunter game, which is understandable given how compact the older villages were in comparison, and that includes the newer Rise village. Kamura Village, however, is also very fitting of the game's theme, and overall is very compact, as I just mentioned, for very intuitive navigation between vendors. But in general, for the theme that the village is going for, I do prefer Astera. That's why even though Rise has less drawbacks, Astera does tie it out in this category. Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise stand as
Okay. So, quit your fuck. All right, Clyde, you're gonna lose desk privileges in a minute. He's clawing my mat. He's feeling rowdy tonight. Astera versus Kamura Village. Astera over Kamura, but once we get to Elgato, I feel like Elgato absolutely wins over all of them, including nope, we're done. Goodbye, buddy. Elgato wins over all of the recent Monster Hunter villages.
as the only two games currently in the mainline series with maps that are seamless, opposed to the classic segmented style of map design. Monster Hunter World offered 5 main locations at launch, and these maps were the Ancient Forest, Wildspire Waste, Coral Highlands, Rotten Vale, and Elder Recess, all of which have a vast area to explore and hunt monsters in. Monster Hunter Rise also offered 5 locations, those being the Shrine Ruins, Flooded Forest, Frost Islands, Sandy Plains, and Lava Caverns. In general, both games offer a solid selection of locations for hunts to take place, but I think World did the better job in creating strong immersion for the player with how the world was filled and detailed. But this falls onto the debate of it being an unfair comparison due to, of course, the primary consoles that the games were developed for, respectively. Monster Hunter Rise did do an excellent job with the hardware it was built for, with a solid area of land to explore and overall solid attempt at giving the locations life and detail. But I think World did do a much better job at involving the story and being more blatant with the story behind the locations that the hunter travels to, so the point here is going to go to Monster Hunter World. The combat component of this matchup is relatively straightforward. They do have very similar combat mechanics and combos as you'd expect, with Rise coming out after World, and of course it came out a decent amount of time afterwards, so it did take a lot of the new combos from World and then expand upon them in its own game. Of course, Rise has some additional moves for every weapon type, and also the wirebug related actions are also added on to those movesets for every single weapon once again. There are some things that I do think World still did better though, like the Charge Blade for example. I think overall it plays much better in Monster Hunter World, but for the most part I'd say Rise has the more engaging combat with the additional mechanics available for the player to use. You could argue that the combat of Rise and the new mechanics introduced have taken away from the difficulty in Monster Hunter, so you could see the upgrade in movesets as a negative, but I think with the right monster tuning in any situation where this is the case, it can be made more punishing once again. So with that potential issue having such an easy remedy, the point here goes naturally to Monster Hunter Rise.
100% would agree. Yeah, 100% agree with him here. I think that Monster Hunter Rise's combat was it was different. World had awesome combat too. It felt very grounded, you know, blah blah, the normal spiel. But Rise's combat was just so much fucking fun. I have not played a game since that where the combat was quite as fun and engaging as it was in Rise. There's other parts of the game that fell short, for sure. But, you know, the main thing, the combat, the fighting of the monsters, that was amazing.
As of course, it's pretty much a better expansion of the combat system from World in most areas.
Ooh.
Right, so next we have the graphics. I think this category is relatively self-explanatory and a tiny bit unfair. While the graphics of Monster Hunter Rise are very impressive for the original platform the game was developed for, Monster Hunter World, I think, went above and beyond in recreating the Monster Hunter series in a more realistic way, and the graphics were definitely one of the driving forces that Capcom used in order to bring in that Western audience to the franchise, and I think it definitely did its job. So without going too much into this, point here goes to Monster Hunter World. In terms of art style,
Yeah, not a lot to add there. Definitely agree with them.
What they could do with various armor and weapons in the game due to the realistic graphics the game was striving to achieve. Anything too over the top would be more riskier in terms of looking out of place, and I think many players were not too big of a fan of this, especially considering the crazy designs we had had prior to this game in the franchise. You could argue that this game did well in terms of its art style, given the theme it was going for, but I will be judging this on what I prefer, regardless of its intention. Monster Hunter Rise, on the other hand, had a more classic art style, with it being closer to the original games except in HD. They definitely went for a more authentic Japanese style across the board as well, and I think it really captured that portable third feeling that many of us missed due to the game never coming over to the West in any official form. I think Rise definitely did an amazing job with its art style, so point here goes to Monster Hunter Rise.
So here's where I'm gonna pretty strongly disagree. World looked amazing, except for that weird like blur effect that it had on all of the characters and faces when they were in motion. I tried turning on and off DLSS. I tried every graphic setting that I could think of. I tried just cranking it all the way up to the max, and I just could not get that to go away on World. But, you know, when I wasn't noticing that, the World just looked incredible. And, you know, he might be right about there being... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? He might be right about there being an unfair comparison there because one is running on a Switch and one is running on PC and, you know, previous gen now, but at the time, like, top of the line consoles. But yeah, I do think the world looked better.
The base game's monsters comparison is a little bit weird here, as Rise did have a bit of issues around its launch that resulted in its base game being completed a couple of title updates later. For the sake of this comparison, I will compare monsters from Monster Hunter World's base game at launch and Monster Hunter Rise's state after Old Mother Nawa was released, as I believe that was the intended base game launch. Monster Hunter World had a total of 31 monsters, including new and old, while Rise, on the other hand, had 40 monsters, but that's including the title update monsters that should have been in the base game. But even without those monsters, Rise still sits at 34, which is still pretty solid. And while the monsters in both games are pretty strong in terms of their lineup, and there are a bunch of variations.
No, I'm not sure if he's actually going to talk about
Apex monsters,
base Rise versus base World, or if he's going to add Sunbreak and Iceborne into this. We'll see.
The newer monsters that were introduced, as I am a big fan of the new monsters that World introduced opposed to what Rise introduced. And if we were looking at the game's actual launch, so comparing Monster Hunter World's launch to Monster Hunter Rise's launch, I think World easily wins this point. Next up, we have the pet category.
Yeah, I guess we're going launch for launch.
Pretty straightforward. Like, while you can have a Palico in Monster Hunter World, Rise allows you to have 2 Palicos or Palamutes, which is the new dog companion. And there's not much competition here, as Rise pretty much has everything and more compared to World. So Rise is pretty much automatically awarded this point.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that they bring back, I don't think they are, but I hope that even if they're not playable, that they bring back some form of the Palamute here. I really want to see, even if they're just buzzing around, if there's a village in Wilds when it comes out, I really, really want to see Palamutes in there.
This is arguably one of the biggest debates between the two games, the Clutch Claw versus the Wirebug. Monster Hunter World introduced us to the Clutch Claw, which allowed players to be more versatile in their environmental interactions, as well as having the ability to grapple onto the monster. While it was well received for the most part, Iceborne is where it started to get some backlash.
Okay, so we are going to touch on Iceborne a little bit,
as it would be required to weaken a monster's body part for additional critical damage to be dealt. Monster Hunter Rise took a similar path in introducing us to a grapple-like mechanic, except this came in the form of a much more free Wirebug. This pretty much lets the hunter become Spider-Man temporarily by zipping 2.
Oh, Clyde's coming back, y'all.
However, this would have a
Come on, buddy.
cooldown with the player only having access to 2 or 3 Wirebugs at one given time. This opened up a massive bag of maneuverability, with the player having more vertical freedom than ever before, with weapons also getting their respective silkbind attacks that utilize the Wirebug in a variety of ways. The main drawback to this was the Wirebug variation of Wyvern riding, which completely replaced the mechanic. Many players felt forced to carry this out if they dealt enough damage using a switch skill, and this would later be remedied in the Sunbreak expansion, which definitely was a nice fix. While the Clutch Claw was pretty sweet at the time, and was overall a solid addition to the franchise, and I would love to see it return, I think the point here will go to the Wirebug, as it was much more of a game changer and allowed a level of versatility we wish we had traversing the tree system.
Wow. Super shocked about that one. Yeah, no, Clutch Claw can stay dead. I hope it stays dead. The concept of tenderizing was cool. Maybe if they fixed it up. The concept was kind of cool, you know, you're less likely to bounce if you put in a little extra work. But the implementation was just so bad. I think I don't think that there's any way that they can implement the Clutch Claw in the next gen without it having a horrible, horrible reception. I feel like, players can be so sensitive about things if they've already had a negative experience with it, and enough people just don't want to see it, that if they try to add that into the game, they're just gonna get, probably review bombed and all kinds of stuff.
In the ancient forest. So a point here, as I said, goes to Monster Hunter Rise. This is going to be an extremely controversial one, as I'm sure everyone has their preferences when it comes to farming, and they are going to differ greatly. So the concept is relatively similar. Monster Hunter World had us farming various quests for decorations, the jewels that we can place into our armor sets to boost the skills. In many other games, these decorations were able to be crafted with monster materials, giving the player less RNG and more control over a large factor of their armor, and they would be able to choose when and how they obtain the decorations. Instead, players would be able to craft charms, which are similar to decorations, except charms can be upgraded just like any other armor piece, although you cannot slot multiple charms into your armor like you can slot multiple decorations in. Monster Hunter Rise, on the other hand, brought back craftable decorations and made talismans the pieces that we have to farm. Decorations are the same in terms of how they are used in Monster Hunter World as they are in Monster Hunter Rise, as you'd expect, but talismans are like charms, except they cannot be upgraded in the same way. Instead, if you are able to get a talisman to drop with decoration slots, you can add additional skills similar to how you would slot decorations into your other armor pieces. These talismans can be obtained by handing in a bunch of monster materials into the melder, and then depending on the type of melding, it generates a random assortment of talismans with varying skills and decoration slots, and in some cases, no decoration slots.
Alright, hot take. Probably not a very hot take. This was infinitely better. There's not even a comparison here. Having to fight RNG for the basic components of your build, essentially infinitely, because they made some of them so exceptionally rare, versus having a complete build that you could just add some spice to. Just a little extra damage on top if you worked extra hard for it. Just no comparison. What Rise did was way better. I'm going to be I'm going to be bummed out, though, if they go back to the way they did it in World with decorations. Also, Ray, I see you there in the chat. Hi. Yes, Clyde is here. He's being a massive menace, but he is absolutely with us today.
For the farming section, I will be giving the point to Monster Hunter Rise, simply due to the fact that talismans you only
Mans is
require
based
one to round out an armor set or complete your build, whereas with decorations you might need 15 or like 5 attack jewels or something of the sort, where it's
he's a
much
cutie
more
as
difficult
always.
in terms of RNG to have that consistent luck to get the same thing 5 times opposed to getting it once. So simply just due to that, even though I enjoy decoration farming in World and got bored of talisman farming relatively quickly in Rise, the system in general is much better in Monster Hunter Rise for the sake of your sanity and just overall.
It's a hot take from this guy.
So as I said, point goes to Monster Hunter Rise.
I mean, it's a lukewarm take. It's a half a hot take.
Of Monster Hunter. This is the area of the games that most players will remember as what made the game good or bad. Monster Hunter World had the player utilize investigations in the endgame in order to find stronger and stronger monsters. There were multiple tiers as they progressed, with a specific range of monsters within each tier. The powered up monsters were named Tempered. These tempered monsters would be much more aggressive and deadlier than their normal counterparts, and these quests would reward the player with various decorations, generally along with the materials that allowed for weapon augmentation. Monster Hunter Rise, on the other hand, had rampages, and the apex monsters basically
rampages were
with
not
decoration
great.
farming being replaced with talismans, as we discussed in the previous section. This category was hard to give one side a definitive point, as I think both games didn't do amazingly in terms of giving the player an endgame that was varied and fun. After players had experienced World's endgame properly, it ended up consisting of a few tempered Elder Dragons that the player could face, but most players would end up facing off against one specific Elder, Valhazak, due to the easier difficulty in comparison to the other Elders. Monster Hunter Rise, on the other hand, had a couple of apex monsters that the player could face at the end of a given rampage, but this was practically the same as facing a tempered monster after fighting a few other monsters in the form of a horde defense. The point here is going to go to Monster Hunter World, simply due to the fact that I just prefer the overall endgame far more in World opposed to Rise. I prefer the tempered monsters over Apex. I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunities with the Apex monsters, considering they were pretty much the deviants. They could have had some armor sets in there, but they chose not to. Instead, they just had the ramp up system with the rampage tickets, and I preferred the augmentation system over that ramp up system. Just in general, I found it far more engaging in World opposed to what they did in Rise. So as I said, point goes to Monster Hunter World.
All right. I'm gonna have to take a hard stance on this one. He is absolutely not right here. So, not overall in his assessment, but you can tell this video shows its age a little bit because it doesn't account for the actual end game of Rise and Sunbreak when we have access to things like that's a dangerous game I was gonna play. I was gonna look it up on Google, but maybe not. But no, when we had access to the anomaly quests, the end game became pretty darn good. It was really engaging for a long time, all the way up to all of the final title update. So yeah, I think you missed the mark on that one a little bit. Probably just because we hadn't got to that point in Rise's life cycle yet.
So the original plan was to compare the expansions as well, but since Rise's life cycle is still underway with the Sunbreak title updates, I think this is worthy of a video in itself for a later date, like when the next Monster Hunter game releases, and we know that Rise is finally done with its content drops. Of course, it would be unfair to compare Iceborne with all its additions to a Sunbreak that isn't fully done with all its content drops post-launch. So with that said, let's leave this category as it is and jump onto the verdict.
Okay.
We've finally reached the verdict of this video. The games are
what do we got, bro?
equal in terms of points that I've awarded so far. I think both games did really well as base games, although I think World definitely did better for its launch, given the amount of content that had to be added in the first two title updates for Monster Hunter Rise in order to finish off the game for its intended base game release. If I involved the expansions, I would have given the overall win to Monster Hunter World, but of course, just as I started writing that, it's clearly unfair to compare that aspect of the two games, as Rise hasn't fully finished its life cycle. I've definitely had a lot more enjoyment in playing Monster Hunter World. I think the graphics, as I said previously in the video, I will be doing an expansion comparison when the next Monster Hunter game releases, so we know that Rise is fully done with its title drops. But of course, guys, this is just my take on the debate as to which game is better between Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise. So let me know down below what game you guys prefer and where you would award points for the aspects discussed in this video, and I look forward to reading all of your comments. As always,
I think we got disconnected for just a minute there, y'all. Sorry about that.
And as I said, I am extremely grateful for when you guys do hit that like button and comment and subscribe and just overall engage with the video. Subscribe for a lot more Monster Hunter content. Of course, there is a lot more on the way. And don't forget to join our Discord. Link is at the top of the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.
All right. So let's jump out of here.
Shields up, Iron.
And pull up Rise. Rise proper. Let's see. There we go. Close out the rest of this stuff. Does not need to be opened. Right. We did, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Definitely got a little bit of a DC there, but that's okay. We are gonna just jump right on into Rise. Let's get the music going back for it. Alright, so that was a quick little... Oh, nope, that's my main. We're going back to my new account. Yeah, I think he made some good points in that video, but I think he definitely missed the mark a little bit. But like he said, and like I said, he was midway through the life cycle of Rise when that video was made. There was a lot of stuff that was still being added to the game that he wasn't experiencing yet.
Here's the quest list.
Let's see what else we got here. Clyde is on a fucking mean one right now. Move your butt, dude. Stop it. Goodness gracious. Cat cam, coming back. Do you need help, buddy? Are you okay? Huh? Alright. We're gonna go ahead and hit up this quest real quick. Let's see. Oh, hello, hello.
Into the darkness. Fangs snapping at your heels. When at last you stop to rest, a quick look around reveals you walked straight into a nest littered with previous meals. Don't stop. Don't linger. Don't sleep in this den. For the beast will find you, and you'll never wake again.
Great baggie.
Ready for anything.
Oh, I had bought some or not bought, but I had downloaded some mods and I forgot to put them on. Oh well. Let's go explore the fucking snow biome. There's a Lagombi. Hard pass on fighting you again. We'll take that honey, these trap bugs, this flash bug. Man, this world was just so rich with just stuff you could pick up and find just on your way to the fight. And it wasn't as immersive as World for sure. It's definitely cool though. Ooh, look at this. See? Look at that. Movement is awesome. Look at this fucking guy. The Zemites. The Zemites, bro. Real talk, fuck those guys. Those dudes can be a real menace. No, I didn't mean to do that. I'm still relearning the controls. I'm still stuck on world controls right now. Stink mink. Stink mink.
That's our target, huh?
Let's get him. Nice and slow, buddy. Nice and slow. Woo. A little slower, if you don't mind. Where is your white extract? Sir. There it is. Now we gotta be careful with this guy, because he's got he has sleep effect. Or sleep status. And those are a big bummer to get hit by, because he just gets to tee off on me on the way. Still gotta definitely relearn how to use these wire bugs. I did some playing around on my main account, just beating up the training dummy. Just to get a feel for the combat in this game again, and it is so satisfying. It's so much fun. I wonder if I have switch skills yet. Probably not. Gotcha. Dink. No, come back. Come on, Rosie. Giddy up. Get these rations. Got it. Okay. There's the white. Man, this bug is slow, son. See if we can get the red. Oh. The bug is so slow. Dink. No! Come here. Yes! You'll regret that. Told you. Okay, so is it... Okay, that's how you do it. Wonder if anybody's tried the beating Rise without taking any damage challenge yet. I bet I can beat this game without using any consumables too. That might be worth a shot. What do you think, chat? I feel like it'd be a rehash of the previous one, but maybe. I feel like there haven't been a whole lot of challenge videos for Rise yet. Probably. Do eat. Oh. Look at Sushi. I don't need you to tell me how to beat up a monster, okay, bro? All I need. There we go. All I need is for this thing to sit still long enough for me to finish it off, and it's gone. And it's gone. But I'm gonna let him grunt for a second, because I really want this ore. What's up? Let me get most of this. Oh, the mining is so fast in this game. You just hit it once and you're done. Let me get that weird bug. I should probably sharpen. Should definitely sharpen. Okay. Hit the old Vigor Wasp. I wonder if I could just finish him off on the... Just have Rosie finish him off for me. Rosie still hits pretty hard. Look at that. She's hitting like 11s and shit. I'm only hitting 20s. Good.
I'll be gentle, promise. And stay down. Who's up for walkies?
Ooh. Left. Oh. Got him. All right. That's funny.
Nothing personal.
Great boggy hide. Let's go. Let's go, Rosie. Every time I say that, when the dog is around, she looks at me like, what do you want, bro?
Good job, buddy. That's all there is to it.
Yeah? We finally chillin', Clyde? Ooh, Bonnie's hit level 5 and so has Rosie.
So, yeah.
I feel like I should be... Talk to the buddy handler. Okay, let's see what this guy's got for us. Oh man, what's up? Oh, MrThumb, thanks for coming. Remember how Umagi's supplier got held up at the shrine ruins and you helped him out? Well, not sure why, but since then a lot more monsters have been acting really weird around the ruins. I know monsters get fidgety when the rampage nears, but it's strange that they'd all congregate in the same spot. Plus the merchants mentioned a strange presence, and now the village is talking about ghosts. Creepy, right? Anyways, this eager canine and feline heard about it. They ran off to the ruins to hunt down this presence. Quotes. And now I hear an Acnosome has shown up there. Oh, that's probably not good. Will you take care of the Acnosome while I go search for the buddies? You can accept the urgent quest from Hinoa, please. I need your help. I mean, when you ask like that, bro, how could I say no? Poor Lori. Oh no.
It's a good day for a hunt.
I keep forgetting to read this stuff out loud. Monsters can be tricky, so pay close attention to their behavior if you want to make it back in one piece. Yeah, that seems like decent advice. Feathered Frenzy. See if I can upgrade this blade of mine here. Upgrade. Insect blade. Nope, apparently not. I really like... Wow. Can just make that? Okay, so it's got less sharpness. Also less sharpness. Or...
My hammer's ready.
we could just use that. We could just use this. Yeah, I think we will.
Gotcha.
Sick.
Are you foraging or upgrading?
We're already wearing the Kimura stuff, which is essentially no armor. I also don't think I really need to gain any armor here.
What do you need? Are you foraging or upgrading?
Could throw on the Guild Cross stuff or the Black Belt stuff. Nah.
Now get hunting.
Here we go.
A bamboo forest at night. The sound of dancing is heard. Resembling a parasol, but in truth a monstrous bird. Be wary of its figure and its vibrant hue. For once its collar opens, a rain of blood will ensue.
Ready for anything.
All right. Probably take that. We'll eat 2 of the rations. Eat the herbs. What's this? Vigor wasp. I don't need that yet. Defense. Grab us some trap bugs. Little honey. Ooh. Maybe we'll do some wall riding, because why not?
Let's go.
Grab some dookie. I'm maxed out on dookie. Okay. Me thinks he's probably right up here. There he is.
That's our target, huh?
Got it. Ooh, not there. I need that dome piece. There we go. Man. Ooh, ouch kabobos.
You're my best pal.
Ooh, hey now. There we go. Now it's starting to feel like a Monster Hunter game. Ah! Stop that. That's not very nice. Stop it. It's too bad. There we go. Dink.
I'm going
Get
after
back
it.
here. Where the fuck do you think you're going, bro? Huh?
Yoink.
Hey! Get the back here. What, you think I'm gonna stop and sharpen? Nah, bro. I'm gonna tee off on you this whole time. Oh, I got an idea. There we go. Let's go.
Making progress.
Wada wada, little bird. I know I see him on the map. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Okay. I like how Arzuris was. No, I didn't mean to do that. Okay.
Well done.
No problem.
Arzuris was immediately on board. And that was not what I meant to do at all. Dang. My plan was to launch it into Arzuris and then use Arzuris to beat the snot out of him. But, see, my skill level had different plans. Quit spinning around. I'm trying to get to your tail.
Attention to your stamina.
Yeah. Bruh, why are you telling me this? I know how to use items on my item bar. Get this shit off my screen. Can I turn those off? Problem is, I still need some of them. Ooh. Ooh, knocked it right out of the sky. Bonnie coming in clutch. Let's go, girl. Okay, we're gonna have to heal up here a little bit, I think. First aid meds. Where is he? Oh shit, there you are. When did you get over there? Thump? Okay. I'm sure he's gonna run now. Ooh.
Start begging for mercy. Tired already?
All right, Bonnie.
Run.
Let's go get him. It's time to bring it home. He should be landing right here. Where are you, bird brain? No, you don't. Where do you think you're going? Ooh. Got him.
Nothing personal.
Alright, y'all. It is just past 9 o'clock, and you know what that means. It's time for a short little break. So I will catch y'all in just a bit.
Back to the village.
What? And we are back. Clyde is still being a menace today. He is bound and determined to hang out on the other side of the desk. He does not understand that that's where the rest of the stuff is, and he can't be over there, because then I can't reach anything. Poor little guy. It's a hard knock life for him. Look at me. Look at me. You're not looking at me. You're doing the exact opposite of looking at me. You're such an asshole. Such a dick. All right. What should I do? Mr. Thumb, we've got a major crisis here, like for realsies. My ingredient supplier was attacked by an army of terrible, bloodthirsty monsters at the Shrine Ruins. I mean, merchant wasn't hurt or anything, but they ended up dropping the goods all over the place and running away. Now they're super down and feeling guilty and stuff. Can you get those ingredients for us? I'll find out where they are and mark it on your map. It'll cheer up the supplier for sure. You get to try a brand new Dango too, please. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Gathering quest. Yeah, I got you, fam.
I'm here for you. All delicious.
Dango medic. Stamina consumption. Tender. Bird collar. Yep.
Yeah, those are great. You.
God, it's so Japanese. They really leaned into the anime in this one.
Here you go.
Not gonna lie, I miss the Meowscular chef.
Time to go.
There's a lot of people that need to talk to me. Hi, Mr. Thumb. I was hoping to help you out with this little problem I have. I'm trying to develop some new Palamute gear, but I accidentally ran out of the materials I need to finish my prototype. That sucks, bro. I'm sorry to ask, but would it be possible for you to share some of the materials that you have? In return, I'll give you a special piece of Palamute gear that I already finished making. Not a bad deal, don't you think? Let me know if it sounds good to you. I need some Macalite ore, but sure, I'll be happy to give you some.
Bye.
Please come by anytime.
Have a look at my way.
Any good tidings, Mr. Thumb? I have a special selection for you. Blah, blah, blah. No. Hinoa, right? Hinoa. This Hinoa? Hinoa,
How are you
yes.
today?
Hey, Mr. Thumbs, thanks to you, Lori's buddies can make it back safely. You're such a big help. Damn right. Master Hammond is relieved as well. When he got word that Lori's buddies were safe, he had the biggest grin on his face. Speaking of, I think I've got some news that'll hopefully put a smile on your face. You've unlocked 3-star quests. Big woohoo. And not only do you get new quests, but you get to travel to a new locale too. Make sure you're prepared accordingly, okay?
It's a good day for a hunt.
What locale would that be? Walking on eggshells, hunt a Baroth, hunt a great Roggy. Roggy is best boy. 6 classic Dango ingredients. Okay. Spongy Oasis. Royal Ludroth. Not really what I want to find. Tetranodon.
If you can't pick one, Just go take a stroll or even a nap. Slow and steady wins the race.
I could use a nap. What's up? I already ate, but thanks for the heads up. About time. Why you gotta be all talking shit, bro? What's up? I forgot to read again. Ooh, pedalace. Yeah, let's get some pedalaces going here. Change equipment. No, we don't want the hunting pedalace. We want the demon pedalace that gives me the most attack. Stamina, health, all stamina. Yeah, we're gonna go with that one. Legacy talisman. Veterans talisman, okay. What is this? Oh. Oh yeah, I can change my hair and stuff. Sick. Oh, I wonder. We can get like a Storm from the X-Men thing going on. White hair, that's kind of cool. Yeah, let's try that out. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're not doing that. I didn't hit save. Soar with a great wire bug. What's up? Oh yo, it's you. Yes, it is me. You heard? I heard you've been doing pretty well lately. Damn right I have. Not that I'd expect anything less from a rookie I took under my wing. That's a bold statement. To help you keep up the good work, here's some great wire bugs I caught. Hope you'll find them useful. I'm gonna let you get away with saying that. Oh, hey, wait a minute. I need to know about a picture of the rock lizard. Think you'd get me a picture of it for me? I can do it myself, but I got other business to take care of. Besides, it's good practice for you. I'll return the favor. Deal? Sure, why not? Question chat. Can you tell what the fuck I'm saying when I'm reading this?
Hey there. Bye-bye.
Ah, did it again. Trying to read it fast enough that it doesn't get boring to sit here and just watch me read this like a storybook, but also, you know, keep it relatively intelligible. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Glide's back.
A lifeless stretch of land, nothing but dust and sand. Barren and forlorn, lifeless and storm-torn. In the shadows monsters thresh, mad with lust for blood and flesh. A moment of peace, soon to be disturbed. A threat approaches, its hunger uncurbed. It rakes up its lunch, chows down without grace. But inside this nest, for thieves there's no place. It needs to escape, or get egg on its face.
Ready for anything.
All right. Let's go get it. Kulu-Yaku, a classic. Actually, I really like Kulu-Yaku. I think it's a really well-designed monster. Some trap bugs. I don't remember this down here. Mandragora, I mean, that's useful. Hit him with the old mud beetle. Get some water blight going. What's this? Oh, a relic. That's cool. Out in the field, you can find relic records that contains a series of old messages. The messages contain kernels of history about the region. Can be viewed in your notebook. Excuse me, from Hunter Notes. Kagero, the merchant, is seemingly also interested in these messages. Try talking to him if you come across one. Sandy Plains message. One was added to your notebook. Okay. Where's my notebook? Hunter Notes. Notebook. There it is. Sandy Plains. Despite his old age, he persists in heaving his aching muscles and ragged bones forward one step after another. Sandy Plains message 2. Okay. So, I never took the time in my last playthrough to try to find any of these, really. I'm sure I came across a ton of them and grabbed them up, but I never did it actively. And I know that there's entire stories to be told with those little tidbits of info. Speaking of stories, Speaking of stories, we're going fishing because I see a swordfish in here, and I don't know how common that spawn is. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can catch this boy.
Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy.
Exactly. Oh, got him, got him. Let's go. Got him. Great flame fin. Okay. I'm assuming he's mixed with fire herbs to make lots of quality gunpowder. Okay, cool. So I guess he is kind of common. It's probably not like World where there were like rare spawns of fish. Okay. Golden spirit bug. Cool. Don't remember exactly what those do, but I'm sure it'll be useful. Thank you, Ray. You can tell what I'm saying? Awesome. That's not who we want to fight. I'm not even gonna fuck with him at the moment. That's it. There he is, right there. This guy can fuck right off. Dink!
There you are.
We're not gonna talk about how I missed that first shot. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Excuse you? No, sir. Oh, giant ass chicken. Ah! Keep your pecker to yourself, sir. Nope. Dink. There we go. That's what we're looking for. First break on his head. We missed that last shot, but that's okay. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Did not mean to do that. I can't get my orange extract until he picks up another pot or a rock or something. Like that. No, sir. No, thanks. Man. This chicken from Cow and Chicken did not age well. Stay off of drugs, kids.
Pay attention to your stamina.
Yeah, yeah. Oop. She's getting low. Oh, I wonder if I could... Oh, I don't have any trank bombs to... I will take that. You just went to sleep right there? Okay. I wonder. That's kind of cool. I missed, but it was cool still.
Aw, what's the matter?
Ah! Damn. Where is he? Come on, Rosie. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this again.
Who's up for walkies? Bye-bye.
See if we can finish him off with the Baroth here. Who's up for walkies indeed? Bam! Got him. Oh, I don't know why that's so satisfying to use one to finish off the other. Oh, Kulu, come here.
Don't mind me.
Oh. Let's get Clyde a little better centered in the camera here. There he is. There's the good boy. Even if he has been a menace all fucking night.
Good job, buddy.
Oh, that's right.
That's
I almost
all there is
forgot.
to it.
There's a bunch of cool little tips and tricks in this game, too. Request completed. Okay. Was it this guy?
Welcome.
Was it Kagura? Oh, yeah. Oh, and I'm skipping his dialogue, damn it. Okay. My bad, y'all. We're jumping in kind of in the middle here. Ostensibly, this record contains someone's story yet undiscovered that makes it an invaluable item. For the longest time, perhaps influenced by my trade, I have sought such annals to broaden my understanding of the world. If you would also be so kind as to show me any others you come across, I'd gladly offer tokens of thanks, small as it may be. I'd venture that these old messages are fragmented into smaller notes which lie in places remote and unaccustomed to human activity. Almost as if you're supposed to find them by exploring. I wish you luck in your hunt for them, and thank you in advance. You got it, Kaguro. I will hook you up, bro. When you get that melding pot, you better show me some good luck. You fucking hear me? Huh? Oh, shit. And I got 3 Macalite ore. Let's go. Guarding Parasol. What's good? Okay. So let's go check out the buddy room here. I think this is where I have to go to equip my Palamutes and Palico's skills and stuff. Glad your fur tears me up, buddy. Alright, y'all. I will be back in a second. I gotta blow my nose.
Have a look around. Hello. Nice talking to you. Welcome. Drop by any time. how you holding up? See you later. Oh, hi there. Roger. Hey! Take care of your buddies.
Bunny Dongo are a taste of heaven. Here's the quest list. Good luck.
Among these endless streams, naught is what it seems. Beasts lurk in the shadows, claiming many a soul. Beware these dark waters, they will swallow you whole. A shallow forest stream coursing through the night. Amid the sound of water, a beast prepares to fight. Those who go in unprepared will bow before its might. Bathing in the thorns it waits, using water as its shield. Yellow collar standing proud, its fang shall never yield.
Let's make this a quick one. job, buddy. Another great hunt!
Yeah.